Hey folks, it's Billy DKY, the truth seeker who simplifies and demystifies. This is going to be application number 4 of Following the Way of Growth, and it's going to be physical exercise. Some preliminary stuff. FWG stands for Following the Way of Growth. Second preliminary point, you need 3 kinds of exercise. You need physical exercise, you need mental exercise, you need spiritual exercise. This video I'm only going to be concerned with the physical exercise. In the future I will be doing videos on mental exercise and spiritual exercise. But anyway, on to the first principle, baby steps. Be okay with small gains. You see people fail all the time with exercise by trying too much, and they create injuries, they get exhausted, maybe they can push themselves for a month and then they quit and they don't come back, where if they just took baby steps the whole time, they never would have quit and they'd stay productive and they'd have had a long-term success. So you have to think long-term in pretty much everything you do. Like I said, these principles apply everywhere, and that's what the whole point of this series is to point out how profound or universal these principles are if you just apply them to your life in every aspect. Okay, again, think long-term. Avoid the pursuit of big gains. People always are doing that. Don't look for them. Don't even want them. Don't even seek big gains. Only focus on the baby steps. The big ones will happen on their own without you really having to do anything. That's the only big gains you want. The ones that you don't even expect and they just pop up and happen. So basically I'm talking about you want to avoid steroids. You want to avoid sports enhancing drugs and things like that. Don't look for a shortcut. Be okay with the long way. Because a shortcut really is not a shortcut. Start small and stay small. Always stay small to where you're at. If you do small things, you'll grow, but you just always do small things. Look at a tree. All it does is small things. And look how big it is. That's how good you can be at your physical exercise if you'll just do baby steps. Just baby steps. Again, if you do what you can live with, you'll always be able to live with it. Okay, principle number 2, apply yourself. You're actually going to have to apply these principles to get the benefit from them. And I sort of could have put apply yourself with discipline, but it always seems to fail everybody. It's like, you have to actually do it. You have to apply them, you have to do it, you have to try to think through it. So anyway, principle number 3, discipline. Discipline yourself to stick with the plan. You're going to start making a little progress. Now I can do whatever I want to do. No, you're never going to be that spot. So you need to discipline yourself in 2 aspects. Discipline yourself from overtraining. Discipline yourself from not training at all. Again, you follow baby steps, you probably won't have any problem with that. I go to the gym every day, or pretty much, because I never do anything that's really that hard. Discipline yourself to avoid overtraining, which I just talked about, and also discipline yourself to avoid laziness, which I talked about. Again, you got discipline, and the more discipline you apply, the more discipline you'll get. And the more in harmony you are with the essence of life, it just sort of takes, it flows easy. It should be easy what you're doing. You shouldn't be stressing out all the time. Like I see guys at the gym, it's a waste of time. Short-term gains, long-term misery. Principle number 4, attention. Pay more attention to what your body is telling you than what you're thinking. I'm thinking I'm going to lift 50s today. You get in, you grab a 50, you're like, oh man, that feels heavy today. Pick the 45s up. It's still heavy. 40s. Yeah, this feels good. I feel some progress here. You don't be attached to what you last did. You know what I'm saying? Listen to what your body's telling you. If you're running, listen, you think, well, I'm going to run 3 miles, and you start running. Man, I feel sluggish. Maybe I'll run a mile. Or maybe I'm just going to walk today. I'll walk 3 miles. Just listen. It's not hard. Just listen to what your body is talking to you. Just listen. Again, pay more attention to the weights. How does it feel? Pay attention. And let's say you pick a weight up that you're comfortable with. Don't just try to rush through it, Feel the weight. Feel the muscle. Feeling the weight. Feel the tension in the muscle. Or feel it. Just feel it. Really just feel it. Don't run from it. Take the damn headphones off and just pay attention to your muscles. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same with running and stuff like that. Pay attention to your feet hitting the ground, how they're hitting the ground. I ain't saying trying to control it. Just feel it. Okay. Notice any tension in your muscles. Tension is wasted energy. You know what I'm saying? It probably means you're doing too much. Your spirit's not really wrapped around whatever weight or how fast you're running. You know, and so it's when you feel the tension release, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm stronger now that I don't have that tension. And I arm wrestled this. I used to arm wrestle a lot back in the day, and I arm wrestled this guy, and his arms were huge. I thought he was going to demolish me, but I noticed in his hands or his arm, he had so much tension. His bicep was fighting his tricep. He was basically taking all his power away from himself, and it was easy. Anyway, next point, pay attention to the way I already said that. You want attention, okay. Yeah, and if you watch this tension, eventually it'll just subside without you really doing anything but paying attention to it. And again, you see guys at the gym, you're like, man, if you're looking ugly while you're lifting, that's probably because you ain't doing it right. It's ego. Okay, and again, you don't even have to be lifting weights. Just notice how you're picking things up. Pay attention. Every bit of it is your workout, not just the 10 reps or whatever you're doing, but how you're picking the weight up. Because, I mean, it's real simple to get injuries. And in your normal day life, pay attention to how you pick things up. Bend the knees. Pay attention. Feel the body. That's where your strength comes from. Real strength that'll last a lifetime. Principle 5, question everything. Why am I exercising? And I've done this myself too. A lot of times we exercise to wear ourselves out so we can avoid dealing with mental issues. So the real question is, do you need to be doing physical exercise right now? Are you using this to run? Or are you using this for a positive thing because you need to exercise? You need to burn off some energy, like your dog. You know, sometimes your dog is just bouncing off the walls and needs some exercise. Is that why you're doing it? Or are you doing it for an egotistical thing or something like that? So maybe the time would be better spent sitting in a recliner dealing with your ego. Instead, again, I'll cover spiritual training later on. What do you hope to gain from exercise? Are you trying to gain health, muscles, or an ego boost? If you're trying to get an ego boost from it, you're exercising for the wrong reason, and you're going to wind up getting a lot of injuries. And I've seen some guys at the gym. I got all kinds of pain in my joint, and just proud. I'm like, you're being dumb. You're just being stuck on stupid. If you're getting all kinds of joint pain, somebody that says you're doing too much, you're trying to force your will on it, you're doing it for some other reason than health. Your goal for exercising is to generate health, not necessarily muscles. And again, muscles don't necessarily translate to strength or fighting ability or whatever. So don't get caught up in the ego boost of thinking big muscles means strong people, because it don't necessarily mean that. I mean, it translates, but it's not a one-to-one relationship. And then when you're watching yourself and you're feeling yourself picking some weight up that causes tension, pay attention to it. Where's this tension coming from? Just watch it. Again, watch the tension. Tension's your enemy. Next question you ask yourself, can I lift this weight with less force? Again, force is just, it's ignorant energy. It's ignorant. It's not using your energy wisely. Learn. You might have to back up to get better. I know, the paradox is crazy, but it works. Again, same with running. Can you run with less energy? Can you take less pounding? Can can your feet hit the ground softer? I'm not saying try to do it, just pay attention. Maybe it'll just all of a sudden it'll click in. Again, I said this, but I'll say it again. Could I lift less weight and make more progress in the long run? Remember baby steps. I got a tree principle video which sort of goes into the tree principle and baby steps and all that. And I'll probably put a link at the end, not the end of this video, but the end of the second video in this following our exercise video. Okay, can I run slower to get faster? Paradoxes are everywhere, folks. The ego makes you screw up in so many different ways, it's not even funny. And basically, I'm going to stop this video and start a second one. The second video in this video series will be in the video response, and I'll catch you on the next video. If you wouldn't mind, please rate.